Okay, hopefully we are now live. Let's see what we got. Okay. We look to be live. I'm gonna full screen this. Is this still game 16? Hey Brad, yeah, I'm here. I thought I'd switch this one on here because it's the absolute climax of Niemann versus Dubov. We're just catching the rear end of it right now. No pun intended. And they've got 2 games to go. It's best of 18. This is game 16. Right at the end of it. Right, Hans is playing white. Looks like he's better here with those pawns. Do you attack the black king? Or do you try and promote your c-pawn? Rook b8. Queen e2. Queen h5 check. Threat. Queen covers. Hi Velvet. Hi Duck. Yeah, this is happening. So if you go on Google or any of your favorite browsers, ask Jeeves. Hans has launched a new chess revolution, as he calls it, right? So he's got a website called endgame.ai, and on there he's streaming these games. Also, if you go to his YouTube channel, you can see the official commentary. There's that Grandmaster Felix, I can't never say his surname, and a WGM called Laura. Whoa, this is getting tense. Okay, you can win the bishop, but you lose the black bishop. Yeah, so they're playing live right now in Moscow, Russia. Oh, he's resigned. Wow. Okay, so Hans is in the middle of a comeback. Now, I'm not sure if we're slightly behind the broadcast here, but we're going to stick with this live view. So that was game 16 done in the bag. I believe that now takes it to 8 each. Yeah, there it is. Felix Blowberger. There's some puns in that name, I feel, in that surname. And then Laura Unuk. But yeah, there's 2 games to go. Literally 2 games to go. Oh, he flagged, lost on time. Yeah. I'm guessing Hans was winning anyway in the final position. Damn, Hans is locked in. Don't poke the moke. So he's flown to Russia. Now they seem to be on good terms. Like they were talking before the games. I caught some Daniil Dubov commentary with Robert Hesh yesterday, saying that there was kind of like an okay atmosphere in studio. There's a little smile from Dubov, handshake. So I guess since the polygraph test has been done, like it's cleared the air of some of the stuff. Okay, Slav defense. Now this is interesting because in the earlier games, Dubov's been playing all of this mainline Catalan stuff. So Hans seems to be trying to avoid it by going for this Slav defense C6 stuff because he was really getting bashed up in some of those games. Yeah, so if you want the official commentary, you can head to Hans Niemann's channel. If you want to stick here and keep it epic, catch some shrooms, then we're going to hang out for like 20 minutes here. Sets up the old bathtub pawn formation. Is the audio okay, by the way? I hope the audio is okay. You'll have to let me know. And if you see me looking down, I don't have a second monitor, so I'm just looking at comments on my phone here. Not particularly professional. What on earth just happened there? Okay. It seems like we just massively caught up on a ton of moves, so I must have been behind the curve. I like White's position with the space, with the knight. I guess you can challenge it with knight a6, but then, you know, White's going to have a strong pawn. Yeah, I tell you what, Niemann has been really struggling against Dubov's queen's pawn game. Equally, Dubov was struggling a bit against Hans's Italian game. You know, he was playing the old Gucci Reza piano, named after the king of fashion. And there's my boy Dave. How's it going? There's a friend of mine in the chat, a fellow Englishman. Yeah, so anyway, so Hans was smashing up Dubov a little bit in the Italian, so he switched to the Sicilian, but then went back to the Italian game. I don't know. Anyway, it's 8 each, 2 games to go. If it goes to 9 each, so it's a draw, I don't know what happens. Maybe there's some tiebreak stuff. Ooh, F4. That's a double-edged move. I almost prefer pawn H4, because now you're opening the king. I mean, the knight's cemented on C5. Oh, that's a good move. Pawn B3, surely. Kick it out. No, you probably don't want to swap those light squared bishops now, because then the knight gets to B5 and to C3. So I really like what Hans has done here. And although Daniil's attacking there, well, I guess you've got to deal with that E6 pawn, but it's not so easy to bring the rooks into the game, is it, at the minute? I don't know. This is hard to assess. I guess white's doing well, but you could easily see the tables turning with the white king being so exposed at the moment. F6 on the way. Going for a little lolly checkmate. Okay, actually, this is really nasty, this attack. Do you play F6 straight away? Just ignore it? No, he takes first. So for anyone who doesn't know, Hans Niemann lost the first game to Daniil. That was like 2 months ago. Hang on a second. Why isn't this just checkmate? I don't get it. What happens if... Oh, bishop G6. He wants to bring the bishop back. Wow, this is so dangerous for Hans. I mean, this must be lost. Must be. Where's the breakthrough? Okay, so he stops bishop G6. I guess he's threatening just... Well, takes, check, king H7. Where's the knockout blow? Then do you go G5, H6. He can now play rook G8 and the queen's covering the F7 pawn. There must be a win here, but I'm definitely not good enough to find it. I wonder if there's some amazing sacrifice where you give a bishop on D5 just to push E6. Pawn takes. No, it probably doesn't work. I don't know. But there's some very nasty ideas. Okay, look out for queen C1, rook C7. Ah, but the king's open. The moment you go rook C7, the queen takes on D4 with check. So that's why Dubov's moving his king out the way. That F4 move, you know, coming back to bite a bit, but then it did generate the attack. They're on seconds here, covering the D pawn. Surely he's going to go for the win here, Dubov. Oh, he loses a pawn. I mean, it must be lost. Like, he must have missed a knockout blow earlier. This is nuts. How has Hans turned this around? Now he's won all the queenside pawns. Takes on Croissant, obviously. Oh my goodness, the attack is gone. And the queenside pawns are running. What a game. Oh, he covers H6. Pawns are running. Oh, he loses that one though. Yeah, he probably rushed it a bit there. I don't know how he should have done it, but... Queen B8 maybe? Have you got time for that? Oh, he's going for the white king. Gives the exchange. But the pawn's promoting. He's on the square. The queen's got a cover. Oh, now he's threatening to take on G4. What is going on? Okay, could be a draw. This game's insane. What a game. Are they making a draw? What a game that was. Absolutely brilliant. I mean, yeah, Dubov's mad because he knows he was winning. There must have been a knockout there on the king somewhere. Did anyone find the win there? Although at some point I wonder if Hans was winning as well. See, I can hear moves in the background. You maybe can't hear it, but I can hear moves being played but I don't want to click away from this view here because I think the final game is already in progress. I can hear that clicking sound of the moves like you hear on chess.com. So I'm guessing they're in the middle of the game and the board is ahead of this. Maybe the relay is like delayed a little bit. I don't know. The old anti-cheating measures in place. So yeah, for anyone just jumping on the stream, this is in Moscow, in Russia. We've got the lovely chandeliers going on. We've even got a chandelier in the mirror. Very opulent. Good lighting there for the players. Both locked in. Don't poke the moke. This is what you get. And I don't know what they're playing for this time. You know, your guess is as good as mine. Right, this is what I was saying a moment ago. We've got a Sicilian game, bit of a spicy sausage, because he doesn't want to play the King's Pawn Italian game. Hans was having some pretty good results there. I mean, he's become a bit of a leading expert in the world on the Italian game, I'd say. So Dubov playing this dragon kind of system, but with an early h5. I mean, these days, if in doubt, just chuck your rook pawn, right? You look like an absolute boss. Lean back in your seat like Hikaru. Okay, bishop c4. Yeah, I like the white position. Can black achieve d5 one day? Doesn't look good at the minute, you know, somehow looks a bit loose. Do you castle here? Accepts g4. White's not yet castled. I mean, I don't play these king's pawn positions, so I find it tricky to know this stuff. Oh, Hans, you big wuss. We wanted queen d2, castle's queenside. Oh, he's allowing pawn a4. Actually, no, he's not. You just take it. This is why I usually analyse with an engine, so that I'm not blundering. See, on the one hand, maybe you want to push c5, but then you give up that massive d5 square. It's got the rooks in the middle. Yeah, definitely looks good for... At some point, I guess white wants to go e5. Okay, he does go d5, c5. He does commit with it. Opens the bishop, takes d4, but you give up the big d5 square. I don't know. I can't even suggest moves. These positions are tricky. Black would love to sort of go h4 maybe, put a knight on g3, but then you give up too much control of d5. If you push e6, then the d6 pawn is weak. So how do you do this? I suppose pawn a4 is an idea. Distract the knight or bishop, then take with your bishop, crash through on b2. Dark squares are weak. So you sack the a pawn, but you get the b pawn. Counterplay, baby. I don't know. I don't know what the right plan here is. f4 looks a little bit tempting, although of course you weaken the e4 pawn. Do you go knight e2, pawn c? No, then a4 comes. Although you find a square on c4. I guess Hans is trying to figure out, does he sack that b pawn? Oh, c4 is a threat as well to sort of lock in the bishop here. I mean, this is a long think. 1.5 minutes for a blitz game. Anyway, sorry, not picking up the chat much. Yeah, c4 wins the knight. What did he go for? He went for e5. Takes. Then knight d5. Why couldn't you go bishop e6 there and swap the bishops? Or maybe that wasn't in black's interest. I don't know. So we got 6 on 6 pawns, but clearly the white position looks better. Black's got a bit of a structure only a mother could love, right? Somehow you want to open the eyes with the bishop on g7, but not easy to do so. There's all sorts of tactics now as well. Yeah, so that blocks the bishop on b3. Otherwise, queen takes on g6 could be a threat one day. Not anymore. Do you play something quiet here? Bishop f2? Open the rooks? Nah, that doesn't look right. A bit soft. Bishop d2. Yeah. Bouncing around to c3, I guess. Going for the weak pawn. At some point, you probably want king h1 to get safe. Yeah, that's a good move. So Dubov opened the bishop and in in a good circumstance. Okay, he's given a pawn, but at least his bishop's open. Rook d8 maybe? Threaten bishop d4, winning the queen. Look around at the ceiling, see if you can trick your opponent. I don't know. So this is game 18. If anyone wins this, that's the match over. So I guess Hans is calculating what maybe... No, it's not his move, but bishop takes on a5 as a threat. Dubov takes on b2. This must be good for white. I'm not sure the best way to do it, but... Is that, what? One pawn up, but it's a very dangerous a pawn. And the c pawn is a pass pawn. Yeah, arrows on the board. Yeah, I can't. We're watching the YouTube channel, I'm afraid, so I can't draw any arrows or anything. Because then we get the players' cameras and stuff. I'm afraid this is rather a non-professional broadcast, a bit like my channel, really. Yeah, not the most polished. Oh, interesting move. Really good move, because if you move the bishop, then you take on a4, rook takes, then you've got x-rays on the queen. Yeah, I don't know. What's the best way to do this? I'm kind of here for the enjoyment rather than to give you guys crazy insight. Maybe listen to like just half of what I say and ignore the other half. Still, white must be standing better, you know. Dangerous c-pawn, bishop's looking good. Having said all that, if everything liquidates and the c-pawn drops, then Daniil's better, so... I don't know, this is nuts. Okay, takes with the pawn. Pawns are still level, plus Hans has got the outside runner. Trying to get it down there like Forrest Gump. Push 'em, baby, as Yasser would say. Okay, sets up the pin. What do you do? Queen d3, maybe? Or queen f2. I suppose there is a pin on the king. Does that stop rook a2, possibly? Oh, no, you can still play that. Yeah, there's a thing. Yeah. Now, I guess with proper play, if everything gets liquidated, this should be a draw. But it's Daniil who's going to have to prove it, I guess, with Hans having that pass b pawn. Because if the king has to ever go over and get it, then the white king is going to march into the king side. Yeah, so that's why he keeps the rooks on, I'm pretty sure. Because one pair of rooks was looking really scary. Okay, there goes the pawn. Really strong rook on d4. Do you push e5 at some point? Probably a bad move, actually. No. Yeah, this is looking dangerous for Daniil. Having said that, the black king is excellent. Can't be kicked from that square. We just got to sit back and enjoy the drama at this stage. And now the big, difficult question. Do you just blockade the b pawn, stay with your f pawn, or do you go for counterplay against the g pawn? It looks way too slow to do that. Wait, what? Oh, what? Pawn b6? Did he want to give a check, maybe? I don't know. Oh, no, there was a check on a3. So Hans covers the check. King sidesteps. Another check. King d2. This starts to look really bad. That b pawn's running fast. Oh, he blundered. Bad. Oh, no. He's got to move. I thought... Oh. Hang on a second. They're exchanging words. What's that about? Oh, Hans is losing. He's completely lost now. He's completely lost. Completely lost. Wow. Same as before. Daniil took it in the last game last time. Oh my goodness. Wow. Now that was a turnaround. He went from having winning chances to completely lost. Yeah, no eval bar, sorry. Just watching it live on this view here. Wow. Yeah, it's game over. They're just going through the motions. Although, pawn e5, king f5. It should be lost though still. Yeah. Wow. Heartbreak for Hans Niemann. Right at the death. Game 18. Unbelievable. Assuming this goes the way I would expect. It's interesting how, because the white king is so good and the black king is so bad, there are still drawing chances. So you can never swap the rooks, can you? Because if you take the f pawn, the e pawn runs. I mean, it must be lost, but Daniil's got to prove it now. Where's the 50 move rule? I actually don't know. Wow, there must be on like 25 moves by now. If there's been no captures and no pawn pushes, the game is a draw. Wow. Yeah, Hans is like calling for the arbiter. He's like, okay, how many moves? This must be what, 30 moves now? This is incredible. Absolutely incredible. Surely bring the king to defend that f6 pawn and then bounce the rook round. I guess this is why Hans has gone there, to go for some lateral checks. I'm going to assume that the clock times are not accurate. Wow. Wow. This must surely just be a draw now. Oh my goodness. This is incredible. I literally called it, just lost. Completely lost. G4. I thought he'd play H4 and just run the H pawn. Yeah, I guess you give up the rook and the pawn's too fast with the king. Oh my word. They are not happy with each other. I don't even know what's going on. Is one of them breaking the rule? That is some drama. What is going down? Wish we had some sound there. So I'm trying to figure what was going on. Was Hans claiming the threefold and Dubov was unhappy, or? These tensions are running high, I tell you. Should we listen to these guys a second? Let's turn it up.
Yeah, especially judging from Dubov's facial expressions. He did not look
can you hear these
thrilled.
guys? Is it coming through on
He
your
looked so
audio?
upset. I don't know, maybe because he didn't convert this game or just in general because of the match. But I think it's fair that we would have a winner.
You can
What do
hear.
you think?
Okay, cool.
Definitely, it would be such a shame after such a hard thought out match to not have a winner. I mean, how many draws did we actually have? It was not many, right?
Just one.
Just one draw.
This is the
just had
site,
one
by the
draw,
way.
So the score is 9.5 against 9.5. Okay, this is now a second draw if we count that.
Called endgame.ai. This is Hans Niemann's
my mistake, out of 18
new
games.
site. Like when you go to
So this was the second draw of the match, which shows the bloodbath.
You can either get private access.
Happened in Moscow.
I haven't really clicked to see what that means.
The last 2 days.
Or you can watch the
just
Hans
2 draws
Dubov game.
18 games. That's unbelievable.
Probably everybody's wondering what's happening now. It was not expected. Nobody expected it to be 9-9. So maybe even the players don't know what's happening. But don't worry, we will stay till the end to see this through. in worst case, we have two players sharing the first place of the match.
Well, there has been some past with that
Oh, so
in
we've just
the
leveled.
last year.
Oh yeah, we can talk about it.
In the World
Oh, so-
Championship match, yeah, that was quite controversial.
So
Like,
Hans B pawn wasn't
I was-
winning the game
yeah.
after all.
yeah, I would be curious. Like, what was your first reaction when you saw that Magnus is sharing the title with Jan?
Well, I just wanted to
So
mention that this
blundered.
is where the drama between Hans and Daniil actually started, because Dubov
so
didn't show
E5
up to
was the
their
move
match
here.
because he fell asleep
F3.
in his hotel room. Of course, everything under question marks.
Mhm.
And then the second drama was, of course, sharing the
Oh,
first place of the World
check is
Championship.
bad.
Of course, I was upset, but not as much
Okay,
because I understand.
This engine
of
is
course,
confusing
that
me.
this
Why is it saying King B5
World
a draw?
Championship, this World
If in
Championship
doubt,
matches
set
are
up the
very hard,
bathtub,
or
right?
just they played
Oh, the board's disappeared.
one-on-one. But I think they didn't play enough
Yeah,
games
that King on
to
F5,
say,
I guess,
okay, let's share the title.
sealed
That's
the
just
deal.
my opinion. If they
Yeah.
played more games, I'm
Right, sorry
absolutely fine with it.
guys, I'm muting
Uh,
Laura and
and I-
Felix. And if they're going to talk about it, yeah, my opinion is I didn't really like that whole, like, let's share the title thing. I get it, but I think the arbiter should have stepped in and said, no, you got to carry on playing, folks. Yeah, I don't know. Having said that, it wasn't the greatest tiebreak format. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Only a couple games there. I'd like to do a recap of this tomorrow. Well, I'm going to cover Norway chess tonight. And tomorrow, I'm going to watch some cricket. England are playing cricket against the West Indies. I just so happen to be going along, so I can't get out a live video on the day. So I'm going to cover one of these Niemann Dubov games. Fun fact for you, a chess person who's a massive cricket fan is Peter Svidler. Who'd have thought it, right? You know, a Russian guy, chess player. Do they even play chess, cricket in Russia? They definitely play chess in Russia. And he's a massive cricket fan. Good old Peter Svidler, there you go. Anyway, so the match finishes 9 apiece. Another little bit of spicy drama at the end there. I'll probably have to cover that particular game, or the one before was incredible as well. So yeah. Alright, I'll end it there. Yeah, oh actually before we go, should we have a quick look at Norway chess? But cover your eyes now if you don't want to know any kind of results and stuff. Oh, okay, the games are all still level. Obviously we click on Magnus first. Yeah, he played some Catalan thing. This one. Why do I already get the feeling this is going to Armageddon? Unless Magnus pulls out a bit of magic. But Wei Yi's just incredible lately. I don't remember him being so good. And then he won Tata Steel, was it last year? Or 1 year? I don't know. He's just incredible lately. Gukesh Hikari. Italian. This knight A3. Less common. We're up to speed. You almost don't want Gukesh to lose today just for the poor guy's morale, right? Can you imagine losing, 3 in a row? Not ideal. And then Arjun, Fabi. Yeah, they were playing some crazy French. The knight took on E6 was when I last saw it. Both of these guys just prepped to the hilt. I have absolutely no idea what's going on here. How on earth do both players make it through 18 moves of those kind of complications and it's like zeros? I mean, can you imagine if we all played this at club level chess? Like, you know, that bar would be just bouncing all over the place like a pogo stick. Okay, and here's up to speed. How on earth do you evaluate this? Black's got these amazing connected pass pawns, but open king. White's got some central play with the rooks coming against the pawns. Amazing position. It's a really interesting field, to be fair. Yeah, I like it. All right. I'll leave it there and go get some dinner, and then be back later with a Norway chess one. Thanks a lot for jumping on, and take care, and see you soon.